We could drive along an ocean reflecting the sun, or make a bed of green atop a wide open scene.
We have made it to Boston.
I'm happy to be in America, that's for sure. I can tell you that much.
Honking cars, the East Coast. Really missed it. It's a blessing.
How it would begin, for summer is for falling in love. We could stay out late until the sun sets past 8, and the cotton candy haze mirrors the warmth of your gaze. Raise your glass to mine, and as we drink,
Blue Bottle Coffee. Have we missed it?
Yes, we have.
What'd you get me?
Oh, I got you a iced matcha latte with Oatly.
for summer is for falling in love.
I am so happy right now.
It's our first time back at Trader Joe's.
It's like I come home.
Any Trader Joe's is better than no Trader Joe's. Exciting times. Look, he's in the driver's seat now.
Yeah, it feels good, honey.
We're on our way to Maine. We're driving from Boston up north.
This lightness of being, we both know.
Our cute little stay in Maine for the next couple days. Like, so cute. This little house behind Will right here, if you can see. My dad built that, apparently, with his brother and one of his best friends. So that's pretty cool. I never even knew that he could build houses. So we're currently on Pine Hill Road. Actually, we're about to be on Pine Hill Road. It's up here. And that's the street that my dad grew up on.
Is for falling in love.
Is this the local library? What is going on? Hello. Good morning, family.
Callie. Hey.
Breakfast, per usual.
Today we're holding a memorial service for my dad. This is his hometown. He grew up here. It was his favorite place in the world. It's called Oqunquit, and it translates to a beautiful place by the sea. The family's here, and we're gonna celebrate my dad's life today.
It's a beautiful day to do it.
Bryan, it's not goodbye. For what you brought us, we will forever remember deep in our hearts. We love you for it.
I do want to say I miss the guy terribly. He and I grew up 9.5 years apart, but we're always best friends. Came into the world on a snowy morning in February. My mom and dad had gotten up out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, woke me up, and they said, I'm going to take your mom for a checkup. About 2 hours later, the phone rang, and it was the doctor, and I picked it up, and it was the doctor, and he said, Mr. DeValliere, congratulations, you have a new son. And I said, well, that's great, I'm only 10 years old. I'll miss the guy forever. I really will.
His music, you know, very musical family. Moved to the middle of nowhere to go to flight school and fly these little itty bitty planes. You think everybody's gonna be here forever, and then these bizarre things happen. Like, I was sitting outside of this place, guy rolls up on his bicycle with his wife, and he's got on a United shirt. And I said, oh, are you a pilot of United? And he said, oh, you know, I retired. I used to work in the training center. And I said, do you know Bryan DeValliere? And the guy stopped. How do you know Bryan DeValliere? This guy just was stunned. And I said, well, I was raised with Bryan DeValliere. He's like, no, prove it. And I have that picture and that picture. I was like, right here, buddy. He was just so heartbroken. Like, this was real, and it just hurts.
And I just remember so vividly being like, wow, your dad's the man. Like, he's so selfless. Was just like, didn't even think twice. Hopped on this plane, came to Vegas, got us a hotel in Vegas, rented this huge car for us. We got to sit in this glam car on the rest of the ride. And your dad was like in this one two-door car with your dog. And like, it was just like such a testament to how selfless he was. He was such a beautiful man and raised such amazing kids. You're my best friend for life. I have you forever, both of you guys. And your dad was the man. That's it, as everybody can say.
When we went to Denver, he was very, very nice enough to invite Mike and I into the United training facility, and we got to fly the flight simulator. And he was teaching me all about like the airplanes, and it was like real, like we got to fly like the, you know, but it was really, really cool. And he was such a good teacher and so patient. Mike nosedived the plane all the way into like the ocean. He was just like, no, just pull up. It was so fun. He was one of the most kindest people that I've ever met in my entire life. I will never ever forget him at all. And the one of the takeaways that I have from Bryan is, man, that guy can put away a milkshake at 7 a.m. if he wanted to.
I cherish all the time that we have with him, with all of our families all mixed, and I'm so thankful to have Justin, Morgan, Will, and everyone here in our lives today. He was, when my younger brother died, he was the person at the gate who picked me up at the airport and drove me home, and so I just always loved him for being such a kind soul and being so generous with everything. He always just wanted to buy everything. It's like, no, I can buy my dollar water. I'm okay. He wanted to do everything. And I know that will live on forever. So
I met Bryan, and it was just a different experience. He was just an amazing husband. I miss him so much, and I really don't know what I'm going to do without him.
As the son-in-law of someone, you're a bit afraid of the dad, aren't you? Bryan was very easy to be around. Like all of you know here, he was kind-hearted and just an incredible guy. But I remember the one time he was stern towards me. We're sitting, I think, in Denver, and we're talking about different things, and I was like, maybe I should get a motorcycle. And he just looked at me, he's like, you will not, my daughter, behind you on a motorcycle. And I said, yes, sir. So I intend of not ever putting her on the back of the motorcycle. I know for a fact that we can all agree that he was an incredible man, and he had so much love to give and so much kindness. Bryan always did what was best for the collective or for everyone around him. We love him.
As a father, he was encouraging, reliable, selfless, and went out of his way for us to be able to spend time together. He even got into the habit of flying all the way out to Chicago for my birthdays to grab dinner, which is pretty indicative of how present he's always been. He knew how valuable that time was, and I'm so thankful for that. He was one of my dearest friends, and I couldn't have asked for a better dad. I hope that someday we'll be able to have another beer together on a distant shore.
Without love, there is no loss.
Without loss, there is no love. My dad was someone who always had a smile on his face. He was nice to everyone he encountered and was vastly lighthearted. When I would call him with an issue in my life, his response would often be, "Oh well, soon it will be okay." Sometimes I'd even get frustrated with him and think, how could this not bother you the way it's bothering me? But looking back, he was teaching me not to make everything so heavy and that eventually everything will be okay. He put my brother and I above everything else our entire lives and was there for us every time we needed him, and even when we didn't. He let us spread our wings and go about life in a non-traditional way without ever a grain of judgment. In supporting my mom when she said she wanted to homeschool us at a young age, he paid my way through dance growing up so I was able to pursue my dreams and move to LA when I was 18. He flew out to visit me more times than I can count and was on the next plane whenever I was upset, sick, or just simply needed his help hanging my curtain. His love for traveling has carried over into my life and has given me the chance to see more of the world than I ever could have imagined. He's always put others first, and even when he needed the most help, he didn't want to inconvenience anyone. Even until his last day, he greeted me with a smile and acted as if everything was okay. He has inspired so many and is the foundation of many airline pilots flying around the world today. He was a loving and loyal husband to my mother and then to Sally, and I know he brought extraordinary joy into both of their lives. He was a wonderful son, brother, uncle, and friend to so many, and the father that he was to Justin and I is simply incomparable to anything I could express. I feel so lucky to get to call him that, even though it feels as though my time was cut short. It seems utterly unfair to think about the struggles that my father had to face while his time here, given the selfless, kind, and compassionate soul that he is. I know that one day I and all of us will see him again, but until that day, he deserves to watch us all be happy and live on in honor of his name.